have this authority. If they got this authority, and I understand they have to come to the legislature to get the authority, and everybody was in agreement on the council that it had to be done except for one landowner. It was just a right-of-way. It wasn't a large part of property, and it was just objecting to the project, not necessarily, but using "I want more money" as the objection. Would you then be okay if they used that one project and said, we have this one problem? Or a better scenario, it wasn't even one person. It was the heirs that they couldn't find. And the project was being held up for the public purpose because they couldn't find the heirs.
The law accounts for all of those situations you just brought up, Senator. The law allows for that all the time. People deal with expropriation. You want to talk about an issue, go to New Orleans on trying to expropriate all that property down there of all those old homes and everything for the new hospital down there. That law has been in place for a long, long time, and there's a lot of ordinary expropriation going on down there right now. Yeah, it's a headache, but guess what? Article 1, Section 4 protects the rights of people's property. That is a serious, serious constitutional right. That's why I think the law is clear that we had to put this into a constitutional amendment.
But this doesn't take away those rights. You're saying it takes away those rights. I don't understand how that takes away the rights. You're saying, on the one hand, Constitution clearly says the government has the right to take the property through expropriation. But on the other hand, it doesn't have the right to take it because of some other reason.
No, because the Constitution requires a judicial determination of a public purpose and requires an appraisal of the people's value of their property, and this bill does neither of those.
Okay. Now we get into the point. So if we added those two things in there, you okay with it?
That you're going to have a judicial determination of the public purpose?
That's what you're asking for.
Well, I mean, I think that's two of the problems with the bill. Whether I'd be okay with it, I think that would make it a better bill, more constitutionally correct. I think it's still a bad idea to not follow the current expropriation process that everyone else follows.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator Broome for a question.
Mr. Hayes, you mentioned the current expropriation process that everyone else uses. And this differs drastically from the current process?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let me ask you this. And you've, in your discussion with Senator Cortez, you did, I think, isolate some of your concerns. But Senator Cortez offered to address some of those with amendments. So you're not open to those?
Well, under the current law, Senator Broome, there's this whole appraisal process where they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in these discussions. This bill says that process is gone. If they can't reach an amicable demand, an amicable agreement, whatever that is, then they can start this process by having 2/3 of the local governing authority say it's a public purpose and going to get an ex parte order taking the people's property before they ever notified the defendant of this petition being filed. So I think there's so many issues associated with what's being done here. I mean, it's not just a 1-2 simple amendment here, because you're changing completely what notice these people are going to get and what the process is going to be. And like Senator Colon said, some of these people are going to say, I'm taking the first bit of money that's offered because I can't afford to fight Ascension Parish government or City of Gonzales or whoever it is. You know, I mean, it becomes one of those situations. But the law right now allows that give and take and that discussion on the appraisal of the property.
My last question, I believe, deals with the Louisiana Landowners Association.
Yes, ma'am.
That you represent. So I can assume, based on your comments and based on the dialogue that we're having right now, that you all don't have a standard position against expropriations.
We have a standard position against quick take, these type of bills. Expropriation, we were very involved, as I appreciate as for our representative, in 2006 when Senate Bill 1, Act 851 was passed, and that this was passed and put into the Constitution to protect property rights from coming in and expropriating without these safeguards being in place. So we've taken a position on that process. We've been involved in the Law Institute has an expropriation bill that will be coming over here that Franklin Foyle has. We were involved in that. That allows for expropriation. So, yeah, we understand there are times when expropriation is necessary.
Would that bill be applicable in this situation?
No, ma'am. This is quick take. This is completely different
But you
than
can
your-
use the...
You can use the normal expropriation process. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any other questions? Anyone else want to speak in opposition? Senator Amity, you have the right to close. You want to speak in opposition? Okay. Identify yourself for the record, sir. And welcome to our committee.
Thank you. My name is Tom Pertwee. I'm the owner of Wastewater Treatment, or Ascension Wastewater Treatment in Ascension Parish. We provide sewage treatment to a great majority of the residents of Ascension Parish. My concern is the vagueness of the bill, which could allow Quick Take to overcome our business in its operation. And that is, I noticed that they did have the amendment on utilities, but the sewer utilities was not mentioned, and that's my concern from a business standpoint. And any type of Quick Take operation could very detrimentally injure the residents of the parish because of any kind of a movement of management from our operation to another operation could be very detrimental. That's the reason, the vagueness of the bill is why we're in opposition.
Okay, thank you very much for your comments. Anyone else in opposition that would like to speak? Okay.
I have a couple amendments, very minor ones that I think can take care of a lot of these problems.
Okay.
Mr. Pertwee, I told him earlier the intent is not to take his business, so I want to add on Mike on line where it says, well, no, I'm sorry. It's on the other amendment. Yeah, you would add it to that other amendment that you did. It would be Amendment 2324, right?
How many amendments do you have?
Just two.
Two? Are there-
Well, I want to take care of this one. I can maybe do it later if it gets out of here, but that's not my intent to take over his business. And,
Okay.
I said if.
let me ask staff. How long is the other amendment?
I'm good. We good.
The other amendment, I want to change, Mr. Hayes was up here complaining about the value and the price. I want to, it's just a language they
Okay.
talk about in the bill.
And the reason I'm asking you that is can we just pass over temporarily? Y'all work the amendments out and then come back with them?
I just got one. I just wanted to put the word appraised value and replace, what's the word, Mike?
Okay.
Estimate. He made a big deal about estimate. What's an estimate?
Okay.
I want to replace the word estimate with appraised value every time it appears in the bill.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. Who's one? Is that you?
That's me, but I think Mr. Cortez has a question.
Okay. Senator Cortez?
Yeah, I was asking them to draft with regards to the appraisal value, that there be two appraisals done and the higher of the two be submitted to the registry of the court, and accredited appraisers or certified appraisers, I don't know the legal definition, to ensure that we have someone of some standard and licensure doing the appraisal value. And, they talked earlier about not wanting to miss the mark underneath, then let's offer that the higher of the two.
I agree.
Okay. Is somebody working on the amendment? Do we have it ready?
I'm not ready.
You're not ready, Dawn? How long is it going to take you?
Can we pass over this and come back?
Okay, that's what I want to do. Okay, we're going to pass over you, and we're going to take some other bills off of the calendar. And Mr. Murray, I'm not going to take you right now because I think yours is a little controversial. But one of them is controversial. Okay, I am going to do Senate Bill 91 for Senator John Smith. And what that bill does is gives Calcasieu Parish the authority to appoint a deputy constable. And there's no money involved or anything. And that's what that bill does. Are y'all listening? Okay. Is there any objection to Senate Bill 91? Any objection to Senate Bill 91? Hearing none, Senate Bill 91 moves on favorably. And I'm authorized also to do Senate Bill 183 by Senator Appel. And what this bill does, members, is it gives people that have, what do I want to say? People that do amateur communications, the ability to have a structure that's like 20 feet in order to catch the antenna rays so they can do their antenna radios. And that's what that bill does. Is there any objection to that bill, 183? Okay, Senator Brooms moves 183 favorable. Is there any objection? Hearing none, Senate Bill 183 moves on favorable. Okay, are we ready for the amendment? On local and municipal, on Senate Bill 91, I have one person in support, George Steimel. Okay, we ready, Dawn?
Including Joe Septon, I'll draft it Senator Cortez has,
Okay, work on it a little bit. We're going to take Senator Murray's. I'm trying to get the calendar done, and if we do that, we can spend a lot more time on that. Senator Murray, which one are you taking? 407. Okay, Senator Murray's going to do 407.
Madam Chair, members, I have Senate Bill 407 that deals with the charging the sewer rates by the Sewage and Water Board of New Orleans. For some time, some entities were exempt from paying sewer fees, and this local bill would just suggest that the Medical Center of Louisiana should no longer be exempt from paying sewer fees. I have someone from the Sewage and Water Board here with me, but that's all that the bill does. If there are any questions, we can be happy to answer
Are
them.
there any questions on Senate Bill 407? Okay, Senator Broom, Senator Mills. Do I have a quorum?
Yeah, he's right there.
Okay, Senator Mills moves Senate Bill 407 favorably. Is there any objection? Hearing none, that bill moves on favorably. Is there any opposition to this bill? None. Okay, that bill moves on favorably.
And Madam Chair, I'd like to defer Senate Bill 408 for a week.
Okay.
We're going to try to talk some about this bill, and then it might be a way to fix this in another place in the statute, I understand. So I'd like to defer it for a week.
Okay, Senator, you're a smart man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think we've pretty much cleared our calendar, so now we have just 7:03, and we can spend as much time as we need on 7:03. We want to give a fair hearing. I think what we'll do is stand at ease for just about 5 minutes unless they're ready to go. We'll stand at ease for a few minutes. Some house cleaning. Senator Crow has deferred Senate Bill 585. If anyone's in the room for 585, that bill has been deferred at the request of the author. So the only bill that we have now is Senate Bill 703. And we're going to stand at ease just for a little bit while we work on the amendment.
She's about the nicest person up there. And the whole state government. I did. He took my new show's place. Oh.
He just like, must have talked to